how's it going everybody? It's Warren, and in today's video I'm going to talk about something that could quite possibly be the most important Easter egg in Avengers Endgame. It's important not to Avengers Endgame, but to the whole entire future of the MCU, specifically in regards to Marvel introducing the multiverse into the MCU, and specifically in regards to a new character entering the MCU. So I'll talk about this Easter egg and why it's so important to the future of the MCU in this video, but first a quick reminder about my giveaway. At the 450,000 subscriber mark, I will be picking 3 winners and each one will get to choose one item from the Marvel Legends series collection. I'll talk more about it at the end, but be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can enter. So there were a few characters kind of hinted at in Avengers Endgame but not dropped by name. Namor was one when they mentioned an underwater earthquake, but this Easter egg was actually mentioned by name. When Steve Rogers and Tony Stark go back in time to the 1970s to get the Tesseract, Steve actually sees Peggy Carter through a window in her office. Now, most people were paying attention to how Steve was reacting, but if you listen to what Peggy Carter was saying, she mentions an Agent Braddock who hasn't checked in. Now, some of you may be familiar with the name Brian Braddock, and for those of you who aren't, this is Captain Britain. Marvel Studios' president Kevin Feige has mentioned several times that he would like to introduce Captain Britain into the MCU, and it seems like this Easter egg could be that first step. Now, this was already pretty exciting news when they name-dropped Braddock in Avengers Endgame, but then we got the second trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home and they mentioned the multiverse. Captain Britain is directly connected with the multiverse. Captain Britain is a part of the Captain Britain Corps, which is essentially a team of superheroes consisting of alternate versions of Captain Britain. They're all essentially the same hero, they just come from an alternate reality. And the main job of the Captain Britain Corps is to guard the multiverse. Each member of the Captain Britain Corps guards their own reality. So, in Avengers Endgame, there's an Easter egg for a Braddock, and then a few weeks later, Marvel drops the second Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, which they introduced the multiverse in. Now, Marvel doesn't really name drop without it meaning something. And in the comics, Brian Braddock, aka Captain Britain, and Peter Parker are roommates at one point in time. And I'm not saying that Captain Britain is going to show up in Spider-Man Far From Home, but there are a lot of connections here. And it has been said that the multiverse is the future of the MCU. So, Kevin Feige has stated that they've discussed Captain Britain before, and then we hear the name Braddock in Avengers Endgame. And now the multiverse has been mentioned in Spider-Man Far From Home, so it seems like they're setting it up for Captain Britain to enter the MCU. But another main point of this Easter egg and the future of the MCU with the introduction of Brian Braddock is his sister. His sister is Betsy Braddock, otherwise known as the mutant Psylocke. That's right, his sister is a mutant right from the X-Men comics. In fact, Psylocke has been in the Fox X-Men movies. So this could be a connection to introducing the X-Men into the MCU as well. Now, it's important to note that the name was dropped in the 1970s, and if Marvel isn't going to adjust the timeline, they're most likely referring to James Braddock. James is the father of Brian and Betsy, and was also a part of the Captain Britain Corps. At one point in time in the comics, James ends up working with S.H.I.E.L.D. So this could be who they're referring to when they mention Agent Braddock. Now, during the scene, Agent Carter is talking with somebody about a supernatural phenomena, and they say that it was not lightning and that Agent Braddock has not checked in yet. Well, in the comics, James dies in what is made to look like an accident in a lab, but it was actually somebody murdering him. So perhaps this Easter egg is a reference to James dying and that it's made to look like lightning did it. Because right after James dies in the comics is when his son, Brian Braddock, gets his powers and becomes Captain Britain. The introduction of Captain Britain to the MCU would open up a ton of possibilities for the future of the MCU. Obviously, like I just said, he's connected directly with the multiverse. They could introduce the Captain Britain Corps, and they could introduce his sister who is a mutant, and they could start to introduce the X-Men into the MCU. And this opens it up for other characters to enter the MCU as well, such as Black Knight, who was rumored to supposed to be in Avengers Endgame. So let me know what you think about this Easter egg in Avengers Endgame with Marvel dropping the name Braddock. Remember, Marvel normally does not name drop unless it means something. And with a lot of connections to the multiverse and Spider-Man, it seems like we may be seeing Captain Britain enter the MCU soon. But let me know your thoughts on this video in the comments down below. And again, another reminder about my giveaway: when I hit 450,000 subscribers, I will be picking 3 winners and each will get to choose one item from the Marvel Legends series collection. And then at 500,000 subscribers, 500,000, I'll be doing a huge giveaway that I will announce soon. I'll also be doing some giveaways on Instagram and Twitter soon if you want to follow me on there. Also, if you enjoy other non-Marvel related movies and shows, you can check out the other channel I started called Cosmic Culture. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
To go for your head in Avengers Endgame. Hey, congratulations to your desperation to save the universe. You killed half of its population. Yeah, you did it, very nice. And all it took, you said it cost you everything while crying like a baby. Now you're at